Howdy everyone, it's Sam. I hope you're doing really well. If you're new around here, I hope I can get you to consider liking the content and subscribing to the channel. And if you are a regular around these here parts, thank you very much for the continuous support. Today was a very good day to be a North Queensland supporter for a multitude of reasons, but the biggest one of all, the North Queensland Cowboys have defeated the Melbourne Storm for the first time since the 2015 preliminary final, winning 13 plus, winning by 30 points, 36 points to 6 over the Melbourne Storm, up at a 3/4 full to a sell-out Queensland Country Bank Stadium. I have to try and keep a lid on it because I know what some people are going to say. Melbourne Storm were without Pappenhuisen, Jerome Hughes, Nelson Asafa-Solomona, X, Y, and Z. I get that. I really do. And trust me, it factors into how I'm feeling now. Let me counteract with this point. Cowboys lost Kyle Felt and Jason Taumalolo midway through that first half, and we beat the Melbourne Storm with only 15 men for 3/4 of that contest. And it looked like towards the end there that Murray Tuilagi had to come off, put some ice on the knee, and so too Jordan McLean. So I hope both those players for North Queensland are going to be up and at 'em for next week. But before we get into next week, let's go into the stats. I haven't had an opportunity to go into the stats just yet. So what I'm going to do is share my screen with everybody. And there we are. Alrighty. So as you can see there, Cowboys 36-6 winners over the Melbourne Storm. Cowboys player that made the most amount of tackles, equal most amount of tackles actually, compared to everybody on the field, was Reece Robson. Most running meters for the game for the North Queensland Cowboys and throughout every other player on the paddock was Jordan McLean. And most line breaks, Scott Drinkwater with 1. So what we have here is all the runs. Scott Drinkwater's got 15. Peta Hiku has 18. Reuben Cotter 17, and that was coming off of the bench as well. Let's go through Reuben Cotter first. Reuben Cotter, 17 runs off of the bench, 124 meters. And what I'm going to do is scroll across to the right-hand side now and look for the tackles. Reuben Cotter, he himself made 32 tackles, so he wasn't too far off. For a performance, for a player that came off the bench, Reuben Cotter off the bench to make all those numbers, those tackles, those running meters, 124 coming off the bench. That's an insane effort. But I want to talk about a couple of other people, though, that are forming the back line for the North Queensland Cowboys. Scott Drinkwater tonight looked like he was in his element and he knew how to handle this Melbourne Storm. It was really good to see. Scott Drinkwater was making 15 to 20 meters a run there for about a 5-10 minute period. I thought Scott Drinkwater was probably our most creative player in the entire game. If not, I would have to say Peter Hiku was. Peter Hiku, man, is just this point of difference. And I've been saying it all year. He has proven to be this point of difference. And it's something that we've desperately needed for many seasons now, man. And I thought Peter Hiku and the run meters that he made, I think he made about 100 odd meters or so. I'm just going to look for the sidebar, fair dinkum, they don't make it easy. All runs, Peter Hiku, 18 for 134 meters, 45 post contact. Some of his defensive plays where he held out the likes of a Justin Olam, for example, or it just, I thought Peter Hiku was sensational. The other bloke that I want to mention too, and this is all flip-flopping over the shop as well, Tom Gilbert, 11 runs for 100 meters. That's a little low. I thought he might have made a little bit more than 11 runs. But I thought his defense was stinging tonight, man. And all 11 of those runs were just no bullshit. He got up and just smashed into the Melbourne Storm defense, man. Valentine Holmes is way up there too, 14 runs for 130 meters. I like Valentine Holmes because he's not playing with flair. Just over the past couple of weeks, it's not as if he's playing with a whole lot of flair. It's just, he's just getting through so much shit work, Valentine Holmes, man. And he's making good choices in defense as well. And yeah, Valentine Holmes, bro, going really well. Murray Tuolangi, he's in sublime touch at the moment. He scored a try of his own in that second half, and he must have leapt from about 5 meters out and just floated in the air for 5 meters to score a try of his own in that corner. He is in unreal touch at the moment. Reece Robson, our dummy half, he's getting better and better every single week. Jeremiah Nanai, man, dead set. He is the magnet and the ball is the metal, or maybe it's vice versa. It just seems like it seems to fall into his lap every time. Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow did nothing, pretty much. He put in a chip kick for himself towards the end of the contest, but he did pretty much nothing. So speaking of players that sort of did nothing in a sense, man, we did that without Taumalolo. We did that without Kyle Felt, and Kyle Felt has been our best meter eater for 2022. And we did that without Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow, who did nothing. These are such great signs for the North Queensland Cowboys. I am so terribly excited. The community up there in Townsville thoroughly deserve a team like this. It's so exciting to be a Cowboys supporter right now. But you've got people, you're going to have fans saying that win doesn't count. All wins count, mate. All wins count, bro. Penrith Panthers flogged Melbourne Storm last week, and that I don't think I've heard, or maybe I've heard one, but I really don't think I've heard one person say that Penrith Panthers, maybe because they're already established, but I don't know, man. Just, there's going to be so many people that are going to try and tarnish or dirty up that victory for North Queensland Cowboys, and I'm not going to allow it, bro. I get the reasoning. I get the argument that they took on a half-strength Melbourne Storm side, but a win's a win, and don't take this away from us, because this is absolutely amazing what they're doing. I should say, I should really emphasize, it's not us, it's them. It's what they're doing out there on the paddock. They look like they enjoy each other's company. They look like they're loving footy, and they're totally committed. I mean, with half an hour to go in that second half, Todd Payton was cracking jokes. He was having a good old smile. Are you joking? Are you taking the mick? That's so good. It looks like a happy place. And obviously last year went to hell in a handbasket, but we're not talking about last year anymore. North Queensland Cowboys in season 2022, as of just before the halfway mark of the year, are equal second. What? I'm going to go through a few more stats now. So completion rates, 71% from the North Queensland Cowboys. It did get messy in the final 5 to 10 minutes there. But before the 70th minute, I'd say that they'd be upwards of 80, 85%. They completed terrifically, especially in that second half. All run meters, 1450 to 1170. 5 line breaks to 1. tackle breaks 33-30. Okay, so there's still room for improvement there. Offloads 7 apiece. Kicks, Storm had 18 more kicks. Kicking meters, we won that battle. North Queensland 460 to 418. Grubbers, tackle efficiency were pretty much the same. Missed tackles. Melbourne Storm only missed 3 more tackles than us. Penalties conceded, and that's what killed them. This is one of the reasons why they lost so heavily tonight, the Melbourne Storm. Or them being one of the teams that get pinged for 6 against and penalties the most in the competition so far. It finally came and bit them on the ass and really showed how bad their discipline is off the ball. They get penalised heavily, and it finally caught up to them tonight, and you'd probably say last week as well. And interchanges used, okay, we didn't use up all of our interchanges tonight. It was not anywhere close to being our best performance of the year. It's probably our best win, though, if that makes sense. Emotionally, it's amazing. So I'm just going to pause for a second, just go into the chat just for half a second. Jeffrey got Fockard. Hey, man, how you going? Yeah, dude, rugby league history, seeing Melbourne lose was like all my Christmas days going at once. Hold Sam and let him think Paul won't pour another whiskey drink. Cheers, dude. Rugby league roundup. Congratulations to your St. George Illawarra Dragons, man. CJ Moxley. Yeah, dude, go Cowboys. Go Cowboys. Jason Reeder. Hey, man. That's awesome. Is seeing Melbourne lose. Is there any feeling better? Rugby league history. Melbourne fans always say when their team loses, it doesn't count because we had this player or that out. Nick Ford, Peyton said he wanted Peyton sacked not long ago. Yeah, that's true. But he's entitled to his opinion. I wonder how the Cowboys will go next week against Penrith. Yeah, I do wonder. So the game started pretty nervously. The lads looked nervous, and then Tom Gilbert scored a Mark Geyer, Roy Simmons molded into one try that came maybe 10 minutes into the game or so. And it was from a short goal line dropout from Cameron Munster. Gilbo just launched up for it, got it, and then ran 10 meters to score the first try of the contest. The Cowboys, they didn't complete their first set after scoring that try. And look, I didn't write anything down because I was with a mate and I was with family and stuff, but that's how the game sort of started off. And we took a 12-0 lead, and then Melbourne Storm hit back, and it was 12-6 going into halftime, and it was just so tense. It was such a tense game of footy. But then that second half started, and the Cowboys just went bang, crash, wallop, and scored multiple tries inside the first 15 minutes of play and effectively killed off the Melbourne Storm. And please allow me to say, you can call me cocky or whatever. You can call me absolutely delirious. And I am, considering how great of a win that was tonight. But if Cowboys were just a little more clinical, they could have put 50 on the Melbourne Storm tonight, man. They really could have. I get that the Melbourne Storm were at half strength, bro. But boy, howdy, tonight the Melbourne Storm put up one of their worst performances in a number of years. And this is a week after they got beaten 32-6. I see that Mr. Paddy G has just come into the house. I always said the Cowboys were going to win the Jesus. No, yeah. Bloody Paddy G. Oh, mate. Thank you for the laugh there, bro. Everyone go and subscribe to Paddy G. What else can I say, really? I know that Melbourne Storm were at half strength and the Cowboys capitalised on it, but North Queensland themselves, at the halfway mark of the first half, lost Taumalolo and Kyle Felt, 2015 Premiership heroes, to medial ligament injuries, and now the injury fairy decided just to use her magic on North Queensland finally in season 2022, and things get a little bit tricky now. Thank goodness we got great depth at the moment, and I think we can easily cover for those injuries. But Kyle Felt, again, has amassed so many run meters in 2022 and has been in great form. He's been spoken about in Origin, inside the Origin arena so far this year. He's great coming out of danger as well. And so his go forward is going to be missed. And then, add on top of that, Taumalolo's go forward off of the back of a Kyle Felt 10-meter run coming out of trouble. It's a blow for the North Queensland Cowboys, and they handled it with a plum for about 60 minutes of that contest this evening against the Melbourne Storm, who clearly are not the best team in the NRL right now, I would say. And I would also tend to suggest that those wins against the St. George Illawarra Dragons and the New Zealand Warriors and the Newcastle Knights, they got the job done by 30, 40, 50, 60 points. But I don't know. Is there an element of flat track bullying there from the Melbourne Storm? I know that they're very, very good, and they're still a premiership contender. Absolutely no doubt. So they're just going through a massive patch, a bad, rough patch at the moment. But I don't know. All those flashy wins, man, with Ryan Papenhuyzen and Jerome Hughes, I know. Does it sort of mask any sort of deficiencies that they've got? Did every Melbourne Storm player or fan, did they get a little bit too cocky? That's what I ask. Because everybody pumped up their tires just a little bit too much. Potentially, man. Potentially, because you all said that the Cowboys had only beaten the Tigers and the Knights and X, Y, and Z. Yeah, lesser teams. But so have the Melbourne Storm. And they lost to the Parramatta Eels at home. They lost to Penrith Panthers last week. They've beaten Parramatta as well. And Paddy G comes in with another comment here. Melbourne will be lucky to make the top 8. Oh, bro, I think that's harsh, man, for sure, bro. And Reuben Garrick is the best fullback in the comp. We will be right. And look, I don't want to get too sidetracked here, but Reuben Garrick's good. So I'm so happy. I'm obviously not cracking open champagne bottles or whatnot. That will be reserved for next week when Cowboys go down to Bluebet Stadium and beat the Panthers by 13 plus and upset the entire rugby league universe. It's going to be fantastic. The other reason why it was such a good day to be a North Queensland Cowboys or North Queensland supporter today is that the QRLW side, the North Queensland Gold Stars, they wrapped up their second straight finals berth, and it's amazing, man. So they're going to be taking on the Burleigh Bears QRLW side next week or the week after. I think it's next week. And they're going to be the away side. Last year, the Bears and the Gold Stars had a semi-final / preliminary final last year, and it went down right to the death, 18-16. The Bears won that game, and then they went on to win the grand final. But the North Queensland Gold Stars, was the QRLW sort of really started in 2020 sort of thing. The Gold Stars, that's 2 out of 3 seasons, or their first 2 seasons that they've made finals footy. And they're going to take on the Bears, and they're going to seek some redemption. And look, I'll bring up what I'll do here. I'm going to share my screen just one more time and show what the ladder looks like. So round set. So hopefully you guys can see there the Gold Stars sitting there in third, 2 wins above 4th place, and 4th place is the cutoff for teams to make the QRLW finals. And the minor premiership goes to a team that's won 12 points. So the Gold Stars are easily one of those three sides that are competing for a championship next week and over the next couple of weeks if they are successful to beat the Bears as well. So I'm going to go into the draw and try and bring up some stats here because I really want to start getting behind the NRLW, and especially considering that the Cowboys or the Gold Stars are going to be featuring in the NRLW over the next couple of years. So we can see there that Reuben Cotter got the scoring going in the 7th minute. 10 minutes later, the captain of the Gold Stars, Sarah Field, scored in the 17th minute, and it was 18-0 at halftime. And then from the 54th minute to the 59th minute, Title went over again, and Hagiga Mosby scored, and they were never headed, basically. Team stats, they've only got the interchanges up, I apologize. Player stats now, let me go down. It doesn't seem to have anything there. Bugger. But anyway, I just wanted to say a massive congratulations to the North Queensland Gold Stars for making the QRLW finals for the second straight year, and pretty much their second year of being in existence in the QRLW, essentially. So, I'll try and watch that game next week against the Burleigh Bears QRLW side. And also there was also this signing today. I'll talk more about it or react more about it in the coming days. That we signed a gentleman named Brandon Fry from the Brisbane Broncos, and he's an edge forward. And I'm yet to see any highlights of him, but I'm going to do a little bit of study up on him. And so I mean, more forward rotation depth is only going to be a good thing for the North Queensland Cowboys. So today we signed up a brand new forward from the Brisbane Broncos. We have our QRLW side, the North Queensland Gold Stars, making the QRLW finals for the second straight year after winning 28 points to 0 over the Burleigh Bears QRLW side this afternoon. And to cap it all off, the North Queensland Cowboys beat the Melbourne Storm for the first time since the 2015 preliminary final, 36 points to 6, an absolute smashing of, a half-strength side, Melbourne Storm, a Melbourne Storm side. But anyone would take that every day of the week. But let alone that, we did keep the Melbourne Storm to 6 points. We were the better side. We are going to be playing finals football. There is now no doubt in my mind about that. And again, to anyone that thought the Cowboys were going to get the wooden spoon this season, anyway, calm down. We're not even halfway through the year yet. A lot can happen, but Cowboys fans, let's savor this. This is a game-changing victory for sure. Absolutely, it is. And so in the lead up now, we have a top of the table blockbuster. The North Queensland Cowboys are going down to Penrith at Bluebet Stadium to take on the Penrith Panthers next Friday night at 6 p.m. And also, so to preview that game, I can't believe how great this is all just sort of synced up together. So next Tuesday from 7 p.m., Jack Martin and Natalie Sinclair from the Big Cat Chat podcast are going to be joining me on this channel to preview this top of the table clash out there at Bluebet Stadium. It's all a part of Indigenous Round. It is the final day of Royce Simmons' Big Walk charity raising event. He's walked from all the way out in Goolagong, and he's going to be finishing up at Penrith next week. And my goodness, hasn't this all just turned into a massive, massive match? Again, next Friday, Penrith Panthers host North Queensland Cowboys, first versus second. Technically third, but we're equal second now, the North Queensland Cowboys. So I'm going to say second. Penrith Panthers, North Queensland Cowboys next Friday, and the Big Cat Chat podcast is going to be joining me on Tuesday evening to preview that contest. And one more thing, just before I go, I just want to show some evidence That's your boy. Your boy's going to be there next Friday night from 6 p.m. Everybody, have a fantastic weekend. I'll talk to you all later. Have a good one.